mostly because the technology available at that time just isn't very advanced. And so police start talking to people in the community and interviewing them, people who knew David. And some of these people start pointing out the rumors of David's wife Melinda smashing with David's friend Mangelsdorf. Yeah, the same guy police are already suspicious of. However, police can't prove any of this. They can't prove an affair. They can't prove that these two murdered anyone. And with little to no evidence, the case eventually goes cold. And now, interestingly enough, after the murder, Mangelsdorf and Melinda, they aren't feeling too good about all this. They both actually feel really guilty, as they should. In fact, they feel so guilty that after David's funeral, they break up and completely cut off contact with one another. So then, what was the point of all that murder they were doing? Anyway, then Melinda ends up moving away to Ohio while Mangelsdorf stays in Kansas and he continues with his studies and he eventually goes on to Harvard Business School. So, good for him, I guess? Anyway, so it looks like these two have completely gotten away with murder. Until 19 years go by, and it's now 2001. And around this time, the local police department in that county gains access to new, more advanced DNA matching technology. And they decide to run it on some old, unsolved cases, including David's murder. And so they go and they retest the bloodstains found on Mangelsdorf's apartment door. And this time, the results show an extremely high probability that the blood on the door belonged to David. And so the detectives working on this are like, all right, I guess we gotta go track everyone down now. And so they go to Ohio and they visit Melinda and they start asking her questions about what really happened the night David died. And Melinda, she cannot keep her story straight. She's getting details wrong. She claims there was only one black man who robbed them instead of the two. Now, eventually, pretty quickly, she cracks and she admits that it was actually Mangelsdorf who was the intruder. And then, immediately, she starts trying to cut a deal with the detectives in exchange for her cooperation. And so now, these detectives know that something is very wrong. Because, guilty people don't usually try to cut a deal before charges are even filed. Anyway, and so, bam, they arrest her. Here's her mugshot. And then they track down Mangelsdorf, and bam, they arrest him too. Here's his mugshot. And ultimately, Melinda takes a plea deal, and she gets sentenced to a minimum of 10 years and a maximum of 20 years in prison, while Mangelsdorf takes a plea deal, and he also gets sentenced to a minimum of 10 years, maximum